What up, y'all? It's the Yungavelle back at it with another video. I hope you guys are doing great. It is a couple days after the new moon solar eclipse, so energy is pretty powerful right now. And as far as the narrative for this energy, what I'm feeling is, surrender. There's not, surrender to the flow and kind of just go with the flow, trust the flow of how things are unfolding. Because I can feel a little bit of the tightness. I can feel the constriction and like the pressure, but at the same time, the other side of that spectrum is, just surrender, man. Surrender to God's will, surrender to Krishna's will, and you're good there. You're good in that surrender. You're safe there. So just remember that. Remember that. That'll alleviate the worry. So with that being said, let's jump right into today's topic. So I just want to give you guys a little bit of dialogue on what feminism has done to modern dating. And we live in this society now where women's rights are coming to the forefront and stuff, rightfully so. As far as human rights goes, everybody needs to have the same amount of human rights. Like that's a no-brainer. We're all humans. Now, where the problem and the disparity is equal outcome and equal opportunity. Yes, equal opportunity. Yes, equal opportunity. Great. That's great. But what people, when they don't follow that logic all the way, they'll say we need to have both, equal opportunity and equal outcome. But the thing is, when you have equal opportunity and you look into countries like egalitarian countries like Scandinavia that have equal opportunity, and they're a mainly egalitarian society, the women are choosing fields where it's predominantly care for people involved, whereas the men are choosing higher tech fields and stuff. So the outcome, the wage disparity is still going to be a thing, even with equal opportunity. So if you follow feminism's argument all the way to its logical conclusion, you see that you can't have equal outcome and equal opportunity at the same time. It just doesn't make sense, because women, when they're given the choice, are going to choose more than likely careers that deal with people, and men will deal with tech fields and all those other higher earning fields for the most part. Remember, the exception doesn't make the rule. So let's go into the modern dating thing, though. What feminism has done with modern dating is that it's given the leverage now to high-value men, unknowingly to women that say, hey, I'm a boss girl, I'm the one that's going to pick. You have unknowingly given the leverage to high-value men, because we're now in a society where women are the ones that are predominantly doing the mate selecting, and women are always going to choose the highest value men that they can get their hands on. Remember, they date across or up. That's called hypergamy. It's just part of their nature, and that's nothing wrong with that. This is just when those gender roles start to get reversed, this is what happens. And what's happening now is that the leverage is now being given to the high value men, unbeknownst to the women, because the high value men are going to always be more, or always be less, they're always going to be more rare than a beautiful girl. You have less high value men, and you always will have beautiful women. Girls are turning 25, 24 every day. High value men, not so much. So the thing about men is that they have no problem dating down. So here's one of the issues. As a woman climbs the socioeconomic ladder, she closes the doors for herself mate-wise, because she's not going to see any of the guys that are below her for the most part. She's going to want somebody equal or above. So as she climbs the ladder socioeconomically, her options are going to get smaller and smaller and smaller, and she is going to be fighting amongst every girl to get a high value guy. And the thing about the high value guy is, we don't care how much you make. We can date a girl who works at McDonald's if she's great enough, if she's pretty enough, if she's smart enough, cooperative enough, submissive enough, and attractive enough to us. And that's just because we are men. We have no problem dating down. So as a woman climbs up her socioeconomic ladder, her options decrease. But as a guy goes up the socioeconomic ladder, his options increase. His pool increases. So I say that to say this. Yeah, guys can complain about like, wow, this is, women are changing and all this stuff, and like the whole dichotomy of the society where, feminism is clashing, and then with modern masculinity, and then you have things like modern masculinity, toxic masculinity and misogyny and all that kind of stuff, where this is just what's happening right now. So this is just and what was my train of thought? Oh, I say all that to say this. Men have to become high value. Simple as that. That's what it's pushing us to do. Instead of complaining about society is this, society is that, women are changing, da 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 da. Whether you like it or not, the burden of proof is on the guy. It's just, that's just the way it is, and there's nothing wrong with that. So the way I see it is that society is now pushing, it's almost forcing guys to be high value if they want to, be good with women and, have that successful life that they want. Or the other option is you stay behind your phone, you don't interact with women at all, you work for somebody until you die, and you go that route where you're just a regular old dude, and you're in the bottom pool. There's plenty of room down there. So, for me, the only option is to just increase your value. Increase your value. The saying goes like this: build and they will come. Build the kingdom and they will come. I promise you, and that's a fact. That is a fact. Let that sink in. Build the kingdom and they will come. And that's not to say like use this against anybody. It's just be knowledgeable, because we're in times now where it's not what it once was. When a lot of women, I don't want to say a lot of women, let's just say women, some women think that, they want a traditional man, but their roles can be changed. Like a man's role is static. Like our roles are static. We have to be the provider. We just have to be that. That's always been our role. But in today's society, we have women that go wishy-washy with their roles. They want a traditional man, but they don't want to be a traditional woman. And, that's just not going to fly. It's not going to fly. A guy doesn't want to come home to a woman who's going to be an alpha as well, and like challenge him and stuff. And like, we already have to deal with the challenges of the world and like building our kingdom. The last thing that we want to come home to is an annoying partner and someone who's wants to challenge you. Like, no, we want a nice, peaceful home, cooperative, submissive, feminine. A woman will submit to the right man, and that's not a bad thing. That's how it should be, role-wise. And that's not saying don't get your bread or whatever for the women. Do that, but know what the roles are. And and acquiesce to those roles. You know, don't fight them, because when you fight them, it's just going to be a losing battle for women at the end of the day, because the more that what's going to happen is they go higher up the socioeconomic ladder, they're going to meet guys that have pool of options of women because they're high value. And it's like, you know, there's the analogy of you know, women are inherited 18 once they're 18 they inherit $1 million just because they're beautiful and young, whereas a guy doesn't get his millions, he has to earn it. So who are you to say how I'm going to spend my millions, you know, when it comes to like mate selection and having options and stuff like that. Just by being a beautiful girl, you get invited places, you get all this stuff, and then when the guy gets to that place later on down, he's gonna want to milk his options, you know, for the most part, or not, you know. But I think most guys, once they get into that space of being high value, having a lot of options, they're gonna be, they might exercise those options, you know. And when you're dealing with high value men like celebrities or whatever, they have those kinds of options. And even just high value men in general, you know, like myself, like as we climb up, the options just get greater and greater. And as a woman climbs up, you know, she grows in age or she hits the wall as a guy is just hitting his stride. That's why this is very important for women to understand that what men like. It's very important to understand what kind of qualities a man is looking for in a woman. You know, because remember, our roles are static. So a girl knows what kind of guy she wants. A strong, you know, ambitious guy. Most girls know what kind of guys they like. But a girl doesn't know what the guy likes. And the clock ticks faster for women than it does for a man. So these conversations are blowing up now because it's very important. A lot of women are getting in their upper 30s with kids as a single parent and are lonely as hell. So this is like a serious thing. This is not just someone being like, men are better, or, you know, like women need to get in their place. Like, nah, this is serious business. You know, like, y'all, it's a serious business. You know, time, you know, nobody can defeat time, and women's clock ages different than a man's. That's just the way that we're set up. So it's very important, and I'll leave you guys with this message: high value. That's the thing, you know. Like, whatever society will be, great. Remember, feminism is low key putting the leverage towards high value men. And whether the women understand that or not, that should be really not your concern. Your concern should be building your kingdom. Build your kingdom and they will come. Don't build it for them, build it for you, because you have a lot to give. You're here for a reason. And become the best version of yourself. And it is not easy. It's not easy. So, oh well, you know, it's not easy. But that's why you have to stay close to your faith. You have to stay close to God, you know, the bigger picture, the reason why you're here. And it'll be those kinds of feelings, those kinds of energies, those kinds of understandings that will get you through those difficult times when you're on the road by yourself to building your kingdom. Because everybody's going to wait for you at the finish line. But when you're in that 10th mile or however many mile, and you're by yourself, and your vision's blurry, and you're panting, breathing out your chest, you know, sweating, like run jogging, you know, oh my goodness, y'all know what I'm talking about. When you get that burn in your chest because your output is like, I'm definitely pushing myself right now. You gotta fall back on on something bigger. You know, that's why I'll leave you guys with fall into that sweet surrender, you know, that dance that you have with your personal faith. Fall into that right now, and then quiet, and then move forward still. You know, I just came back from the gym, so Like, still do your thing, but understand that God's plan for your life is the way to go. So that's all I wanted to talk to you guys about. I touched a lot of different things in this video, but it's a multifaceted subject, so oh well. I hope you guys got something from this video. If you got anything, share it, like it for that YouTube algorithm so I can get out there, get my stuff out there. Comment, show your friends this video, because these kind of conversations need to be had. Us men, we need to know stuff like this when we're dealing with women nowadays. It'll just help both parties. So I hope you guys stay strong, stay safe. We got the build to the full moon and the solstices in between that. So a lot of high energy, guys. So keep the path, keep the faith, and like I always say, guys, remember, until next time, a greater perspective can lead to a greater connection. Peace.